Alright, so today I'm going to show you how I edit some of my pictures. So this one I took today in Visalia at this random weird place. It's just strange. Anyways, so I like to start off with the sharpening. Go down here. I already have this set here so that I can see what exactly is going on. So I just turn that up a little bit. Not too much, just enough to make it look good. And then I go ahead and just adjust these things up here. So highlights are pretty high. I'm going to drop those. I'm going to turn up shadows a tinge and blacks down quite a bit to create that nice contrast. Now, sometimes I would mess with whites, but in this case I don't really need to. Maybe I'll just turn up shadows again just a tiny bit more. Colors are perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this thing here. So normally I just have it set already medium, but I have to create these little dots here, and then I bring this up a tiny bit to make the blacks a little fade. You can see that it hurts a lot, so I'm going to bring this down to about right here. This creates more of like a film effect. Alright, so now colors. The yellows of the flowers are pretty cool, but I think instead I'm going to drop down, make them a little more surreal, so like that, and that looks a lot better to me. Skin tones, the oranges, those look pretty good. I don't want it to be too orange, too red, so about right there, just +2. Now, I'd like to adjust for horizon straightness, and in this case it was already straight, so I'll just leave it the way it was. I'm just going to crop in just a tiny bit more. Alright, that looks good. And so, let's see. Blues, there's a tiny bit of blue in her hair and hat, but I don't know if I want to mess with that. It just makes it look weird. I like to pump this one up a little bit though. Which purple and magenta usually don't really affect anything, so just leave them right there. Then orange, I might pop it up just a tiny bit to make her skin a little bit more tan. And I'm going to pop up red to make her shirt dress really stand out. About right there. Okay, everything else looks good. I'm going to desaturate yellow a little bit more because it's like blue, just way too much. So as you can see, okay, that looks pretty good. And I might even drop this down a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to compare what it was to what it is now. Mostly it's just colors and sharpness. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to continue editing now. Everything else looks good. Leave it the way it is. Now sometimes I like to go in here and do some split tonings for the blacks. So you can see what it affects if I do that. And then sometimes I do just a tiny bit and then I move it around to see what I could do. And for the most part, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looked good the way it was. I turned this off to compare to what it was before. And actually, I do like that, so I'll leave it there. And then the oranges, the highlights, just everything else. Ooh, this is tough. Sometimes I'm like right here, just playing with this for a good 10 minutes, trying to figure out what colors I like best. Okay, I'm just gonna drop it down. So don't overthink it. That one's a little iffy sometimes. Sharpening, luminance, if you have a lot of noise, it really kind of sucks though. Makes everything look so plasticky. Like that. There it is. Okay, so yeah, plasticky. I don't like using it, so I only use it in really bad cases where I need the skin to look smoother. I typically don't use any of these here, but if I do, I always do this, feather, and then turn up the highlights to make it look like it's not too much of a vignette, but it kind of makes it stand out if you want the subject to pop a bit more. Let's see, so I like the way it looks. It kind of looks good, like, see, that's too much, so I'll leave it at 0. Now these ones here, I shot this in JPEG, so I'm not really going to touch on these. If I shot raw, I would probably play with them. They affect the colors a lot, as you can see. Wow, that actually looks kind of good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Okay, that looks good. And blue primary. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Damn, that looks pretty good too. Okay, so I'll leave it right there. Last thing I do, I go in with the brush. I do this in last because sometimes I use these for the next photo. And you just click previous, and if you have the same settings, it'll look like the one before it, and it just saves a lot of time. So, boom. Well, that's a good picture too. Okay, so we'll keep working with this one. Now here I had it set to something, looks like I was doing skin tone, but put that at 0. This one is 0. The first thing I'd use is clarity. Turn it up to about 50. And then I just go in for the hair. I want to bring out the texture. And this works really well for that. You could adjust your little brush pretty easily. And then I go in really tight. And I bring out the eyelashes. And also the eyebrows. Sometimes this might be a little too much. And I want to make sure I have like all my bases covered here. Sometimes I like to show selected mask overlay. And you can pretty much see where you've gone over, so I want to make sure that it's all pretty much even. Don't want to leave anything out. There we go. Alright, perfect. And so we can see what it looked like before if I turn it off. I mean, first let me turn that off. Okay, so on, off. Really makes it pop. Now, once I'm done with that, I just click done, and then I open it back up again so I can create a new dot, a new point to focus, and I would go over some of the flowers here and just really bring these out as well. Don't really worry too much about clothing. The only thing I would worry about is skin tone. But otherwise, this looks pretty good. And now I can see this from the last photo. There's a pretty big difference now. I'll go ahead and show you. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it, I think. I mean, I might turn up pinks a tiny bit. Just a very little bit, actually. And now, I might adjust the yellows a bit more. There we go. Okay, perfect. So I would say I'm done with this picture because her skin's very clear, which is very helpful. I mean, sometimes this is overkill sometimes because you're not going to see any of these in any post on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not going to zoom in that much. I'll just go and do this just in case I want to blow it up myself. Alright, so that picture's done. One other thing I'd probably do is just Photoshop maybe some birds or clouds up there just to fill in that gap. And then, like, I see some things that really don't matter too much. Like this strand here. Just get rid of that. Fix that really quick. The other ones are fine. Over here is a bit... Ugh, I wish I could have caught this beforehand. I'm taking the picture, but I'll just fix that part. And then maybe just this here, just to clean it up a tiny bit more. Alright, so that looks good. Everything else looks good. And we're done. And so that's how I edit some pictures. I'll say this is how I edit a field picture. I'll do some more later. Alright, thanks for watching.